Connor,
Yeah,
what's up? How long have you been sitting here for?
I mean, maybe like 20 minutes, but for some
Wait,
reason,
wait, literally 20 minutes?
okay, maybe not 20 minutes, more like 10 minutes, but I was having trouble getting my camera to work. It's not hooking up to my good camera, so then I had to use this little Logitech camera. So if it's a little blurry or glitchy, I do apologize. But does the sound good? Can everybody hear me?
Yeah, man, you
Sound
sound
great.
good, you look good, you got a cool hat, you got a cool wall, you got a cool chair. I mean, shit, your life seems pretty good, man.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. Today was a crazy day in the market.
Today was the craziest day in
Honestly,
the
I'm
market.
so excited to be on. I never would have thought, I'd be on Benzinga, but here we are. Here we
Hell
are.
yeah, man. I love it. I love it. I love it. What are you looking at today? Where are you at? What are names you're considering?
So today started off. So let me just put it this way: the market volatility has been pretty insane lately. With such volatility, at least for me, it's been hard to understand the moves in the market the way that I normally do. So I did scale back a little bit today. It was a choppy week for me. I actually finished today though at 19,800 green. We traded GameStop. We traded AMC. I mean, all the tickers we traded today were GME, SNMP, AMC, IDXG, LLIT, BB, NH, ACB, NOK, AXAS, GBR,
Holy
NAKD,
tickers.
AAL, VIVE, BDR, CGIX, and BRN. So a lot of trading throughout today.
All right. Tell us tell us about the strategy.
So the best trades for us today were AMC 20 and GameStop. So the two trades, first was AMC long today. Let me pull my charts up.
Yeah, share your screen with us if you have something to share.
Oh, we can do that? I didn't know this was possible. No way.
You should
All
have
right,
a toggle
Yeah, baby,
feature.
we love charts.
toggle screen share. And
Yeah, and if you can make this, if you can give us the trade and make this educational, I would love it.
Sure. So let's do this. Give me a second, and I'm going to pull this up over here. Oh, more like that, and then we do this. Okay, so everything should be pretty much good to go. Screen number 4, is that it? Or is this screen number 4 down here? That looks like screen number 4. Okay, so we're going to be rocking off of this screen. Number 4, share. Cool, so you guys should all probably be able to see everything. So
Yep, we
P&L's down here on the left. These are all the tickers that I traded today. So there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
All right, wait, you
6
have the
right.
P&L up? What's the P&L say?
P&L, like I said, was 19,800 today. After commission, it's going to be probably more like, let's see, 19,800, 489 commission. So that's 19,400. Probably paid about $1,000 a day in short locate fees for some shares. So let's just say it's probably like 18.5 to 18.
All right,
So
you
I would
beat
say
me. I'm sitting at 4,400 today, which I'll take. But all right, you're
So
ahead of me.
Two best trades for us today, at least I guess you could say P&L wise, were AMC. So if you're looking at the screen here on the left and you're looking at the screen on the right, I'll walk you guys through this. So earlier this morning, we had suggested that the price target for AMC 20 was going to be $8 to $7. Nobody liked that price target. Got a lot of backlash from that one earlier in the day, but our price target was going to be $7 to $8. The reason we had chose $7 to $8 was, I mean, AMC was overbought, GME is overbought. We know this. Granted, we got an army of internet traders on our hands. So again, prices have run further than we would expect. But if I change this to a 4-hour time frame, chart on the right, possibly the left, depending on how it's being presented here on YouTube. But if you look at the chart on the right, there's a couple things I want to point out. So one would be this. I'm going to delete all my old drawings off this platform real quick. Where are we at? Where'd you go? Or maybe not. I don't know. I can't find it. So if you look here on the right, you're going to see this like blue solid line in there. Okay. That is the long-term 4-hour 3 deviation. Some of you guys might not quite understand that. That's okay. But the simplest way that I could explain it is that when the stock explodes over this blue little trend, which is a 3 deviation mark, and as the price crashes down into that, we should bounce. So when the prices on AMC were coming down towards $8, and then also if you look closely at my screen, you'll see like a dashed blue line That's a 9 moving average. So it's a daily 9 moving average. And so essentially, as we're coming into $7 to $8 on the day, we were running into the 4-hour long-term price target on the downside, which now is support because resistance broke, right? And you're also coming into the 9-day moving average. So, and again, if we go to like a daily chart, it might look
And
a
everybody
little
keeps
bit
asking what
better.
brokerage this is. This is Thinkorswim by TD Ameritrade, correct?
Yeah, so we're working on Thinkorswim, TD Ameritrade. Some people have access to it. If you're from the United States and maybe a little bit of Canada, you can access it. But if you're not, then you might have trouble doing that. But so the reason we were buying AMC down at $7 to $8, and we were buying it into the halt. It kept getting halted. We kept buying. We kept buying. I think I built up like I think it was like a 6,000 share position down here towards like 8. I think my average was 805, averaging into this bottom and looking for the move higher. So that was AMC. And now let me point out GameStop. GameStop is obviously a little bit more popular than AMC. So
That's
if a lot of you
hot
guys were
stock.
watching, if you're watching this one, you guys might be able to follow along a little bit better. And this one is a better example. Okay, the last one I showed you was a little off, but if you look at the right chart, this is the long-term 365-day chart. Okay. And so if you look at GameStop, look at where the bottom of this wick is at. Okay, let me show you. You see the bottom of today's trading range on GameStop came all the way down to 112.25. Okay, and if we were to put a little horizontal price level over this blue line I'm showing you, you're going to see exactly where it comes into play. Okay, it comes in right down there. And if I go and show you the 4-hour chart, it'll be a little bit different. That price came in around right here. So then if we look at the left chart, that was the buy zone. So today our buy zone for GameStop was pretty much anywhere from 137, right? Is that 137? Yeah, sorry. Anywhere from like 145 down to 112 was essentially the buy zone for us. So we were adding into GameStop long bias into the halt, anticipating that the bounce would come back up. So essentially got long down here into the 112s. And then ended up closing out pretty much around this green candle of 206. So caught 35 points on the way up. Didn't mean to close out fully, but did because I clicked a bunch of buttons. When you're up $6,000 or whatever on a position, you're kind of like, I want to take it off. So those were our 2 biggest trades for the day. Other notable mentions were BDR or GBR. If you looked at GBR today, GBR just essentially squeezed out short sellers all day long. I did a little bit of shorting on this, did a little bit of longs on it. The shorts were not easy. It was a short squeeze stock today, so if you were shorting, you were on the wrong side of the move. But what we ended up doing today,
and guys, I'm just going to throw a warning out there. All right, tell me if you disagree, Connor. But my rule is never to short stocks that double. Never. I've done it years ago. I've blown up accounts doing it. I never freaking short stocks that double. Where are you at with that?
So I will say that whenever, I guess I don't follow the rule of a double, but really the rule of thumb is that a lot of people get into is to never short the first big running day, which is entirely true because you can run into situations like here on GBR 100%. If you have no clue how to pick when a top's going to be, and if you have zero understanding of that, yes, you should never try to short a first big running day. If you're pretty good at picking tops and understanding when prices should stop moving, we should retrace, then you could probably do it. I do it, and I got away with it today, but there's been plenty of days where I've gotten crushed. But like, for example, this move here on BD or GBR, this move here, like that's a classic short squeeze. This was a classic short squeeze. This was all short squeezing, and then eventually the shorts were just pissed and hammered it down at like $30 here. But the rule of thumb is you're never supposed to short a first big day running stock. Now, the thing is your psychology is eventually going to shift because what's going to happen is the market will stop running like this. The days of these stocks going from, $3 to $6, $10, and then all the way to 30, it's going to stop. The stocks will start going from $3 to $10, and then they're going to crash all day long. So your approach of buying them and then looking for a big squeeze, that's eventually going to stop, and you're going to go, why isn't this working? Just a couple weeks ago, everything was running. Everything was squeezing so beautifully. And that's essentially because 90% of the market fails and 10% wins. So we have come from a market, and I got my ass handed to me a couple days this week because we came from a market that everything on the short side worked extremely well. Stocks would get overbought, they'd run into our resistance zones, we would short them, and it was just like easy money on the way down, no problem. Come into this week, granted, whether you want to call it Wall Street bets, whatever conspiracy, short float this, low float that, low outstanding, whatever the dynamic is, the market has completely shifted to the point where the shorts are just not working and the longs are what's working. And what's going to happen is there's going to be a shift in the market. Once everybody catches on to stop shorting and just go long, then the shorts are going to start working better. So I think we've essentially shifted a little bit from a market where a lot of the shorts would pan out really well and we fade out intraday to a market now the shorts are getting squeezed out throughout the day. And eventually, that's just the way the market goes. It shifts back and forth, back and forth. Market giveth, market taketh. And you have to essentially tell yourself when you're on the wrong side of the trend, and you have to be able to recognize when the market is starting to shift that sentiment. Because again, if you're always short every single time and you're starting to make a lot of money, or if you're always long and you're making a lot of money, eventually that's going to stop working because the market's going to shift the opposite way. And that's how you give your money back in the market, right? Say you do one thing and it works really, really well and you make a lot of money, and then all of a sudden it kind of stops working. That's the way the market giving and the market taking back. You get kind of confident, in tune with something, and then eventually it kind of shifts on you. And that's just the market going through its natural cycle from bear to bull, I guess you could say. But anyways, we've been seeing enormous short squeeze. I don't really know what else to say about that. It's been a wild week for us here too.
Yeah, man. And the thing that I love is I love these pre-market moves that we've been having. It seems like on these hot stocks, this early ass pre-market, like I'm talking 4 a.m. to 7 a.m. has been the hot ass time. Like I've been setting my alarm. Like I'm like a night owl, right? I usually am off until, I don't know, literally 2 a.m. or something like that, and then I've been setting my alarm for 5 to watch some of this early price action. I mean, it's been crazy. That's what's been moving. So I'm eager to see where we end up later today, and then again early tomorrow morning.
Absolutely. So again, like I said, the only advice I could give to a lot of people right now in the market is that, for me at least, my experience past week. And I like to do a lot of short selling. Like I said, it hasn't been easy this week. And just today, I kind of like shifted out of my short selling mindset and started flipping on the long side, and it worked well. But like I said, I like to do a lot of shorting. Shorting hasn't been working as much. So at least for now, your best bet is to be more optimistic on longs, especially in a lot of these like random penny stocks. Like 9 times out of 10 in a normal market, when a penny stock starts running on the day with no news, it usually comes crashing down throughout the day. We're starting to see a market where these things will run, no news, get sold into, then squeeze right back out. So for now, I'm kind of on the field of more or less being patient on anything short biased and being more optimistic on everything long biased. Today it worked well for me. It's been going this way throughout the week. So I would stay more on the long side of stocks generally for right now, especially in the penny stock world, rather than trying to be short, everything. Normally I want to be short everything, but this week I think it's best to kind of shift more on the long side.
Yep. And you're typically intraday, I'm guessing? Like you're pretty short term with your trading?
Yeah, pretty much everything we do is normally going to be intraday. And then I'm also an extremely big advocate of dollar cost averaging and long-term investing, just because you kind of have to be. I mean, realistically, that's really how I got started in the market, was all just investing into mutual funds, things of that nature. And so what's more important to me than day trading and doing short-term trading is long-term investing. So no matter what, every single week, money's coming out, going straight to the market. But everything we do naturally is going to be on a day-to-day basis, yes.
Yep. And just really quick for everybody in the chat asking when what time the Webull CEO was on, just like scroll back in your YouTube feed, right? You'll see it. I mean, it's there'll be 3 dudes on the screen, okay? That's how you know you're getting there. If that's not the right person, then just keep scrolling. Look at that little YouTube preview. That's how you'll find it. But Connor, anything you're holding overnight, anything you're long now, you're bullish on, names that we should be looking at?
So right now we're not. No, I mean most of the stuff we do is on an intraday basis. I'm trying to think. Like, no, there's really nothing off the top of my head that I would say that like tomorrow we're going to be watching. I mean, we're going to watch all the names like AMC. We'll watch that. We'll watch GameStop. We'll watch that. So I mean, those are the ones we're watching right now, of course, because everyone's talking about them. But really, I mean, like MARA and Riot. You know what? That's a great
Yeah,
idea.
those are some hot ones.
I should show you guys Bitcoin
Yeah,
and give
let's
you
look at
guys like
that.
a heads up. So, let me pull up the right chart. So yeah, I'm gonna go full screen with this chart. That's all we need.
And just to clarify, somebody in the chat saying you close by end of day. That's basically what you're saying, right?
Yeah, and most of the stuff we do is all closed by the end of the day.
And somebody
So
else
if you
is saying
guys
you
look
need
at
Nokia. That would help me out if you want to just put in a big ass after hours market order on Nokia. But
yeah,
keep
so
going.
I'll
Tell
run
us about the
Nokia.
blockchain stocks.
Yeah, so all right. So here's the thing: MARA and Riot. If you know anything about them, they're more involved in the Bitcoin space. Some do mining, yada yada yada. It doesn't really matter. All you have to really know is that if Bitcoin goes up, they're going to go up. If Bitcoin goes down, they're going to go down. So if you're really involved in the MARA and Riot, you know, if you're into that, essentially the only question you're asking yourself is, what's Bitcoin going to do today? You really don't have to say, oh, well, what do you think about this price level on Riot? And it doesn't even matter. All that matters is whether or not Bitcoin's going to go up. And if it does, generally speaking, you're going to see that same sort of movement in Riot and or Bitcoin. So what I want to show you here on this chart, we were able to predict the top here on Bitcoin a little bit. So I owned a couple $1,000s in Bitcoin. I ended up selling it on the top here. And we wanted to dip buy it actually recently. I never ended up doing it, if I'm truthfully honest here. But here's the deal. If you're watching Bitcoin, Bitcoin has currently held support. If I could do this right, here we go. So Bitcoin has currently held support on the 365-day 2+ deviation mark. You can see it here, this yellow trend line. We're kind of holding it right here. So in the meantime, really your target back to the upside on Bitcoin is about $34,117. So the bounce that you're seeing in MARA and Riot is most likely due to the fact that Bitcoin's bouncing. The current target for Bitcoin is going to be back up to 3,417, 3,400, 200 or whatever. So just basically anticipate by tomorrow, next couple days, there's a good chance you're going to see Bitcoin trading in the prices of 34,000 to roughly 35. So I'm bullish on Riot and MARA over the next couple days because, again, Bitcoin's probably going to pop up a little bit. And then if we look at MARA and Riot, I'll give you my best analysis here. So if I was trading MARA...
And can you pull up a Dogecoin chart too? We got to look at Dogecoin, sorry.
Dogecoin, I don't even have Dogecoin on this chart. I don't have no means to getting to it right now. But I'll also cover Nokia for you. But if you could, that'd be great. So MARA, if I wanted to be long Riot, I would already be long Riot. I wouldn't be considering getting long now. The dip was down here. We've broken over the 9-day moving average. On a 4-hour time frame, the next price target you have on the upside is $23.66. And if you look at the daily chart, your daily chart would say that you have the potential to get as high as 25.12. The only way you're going back to all-time highs on MARA is if Bitcoin starts going back towards the all-time highs. So again, Riot and MARA are going to follow suit with Bitcoin. Bitcoin already came off the big bounce and big dip recently, so you're no longer currently on sale with MARA and Riot because they've already bounced with Bitcoin. So I do believe you're kind of in the phase for Riot and Bitcoin to push a little higher until they hit their resistance in this trend, and then you're going to see, maybe a red day or something here.
Yep, and I'm going to throw a shout out to the one that I own. I've been in this one for a long time, Voyager Digital. That is my crypto stock. It's a crypto trading platform. I own the Canadian ticker, which is VYGR. I believe the OTC ticker is VYGVF. But that one has been a freaking tear for me. I mean, the stock went from 5 million of assets under management to 500 million assets under management in 12 months. Stock has gone from 66 cents to $8 or so.
What is stock? Oh, it's IOTA. That is another crypto, right?
No. It's Voyager Digital. Let me get you the OTC ticker. VYGVF. There it is. Yeah, VYGVF. So Victor, Yankee, Golf, Victor, Foxtrot.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. So VYGVF. That's a tricky one to say. All right. So yeah, if you look at the chart here,
their Canadian ticker, their TSX ticker is VYGR. So freaking easy, and then the OTC one is so gosh darn hard.
Yeah. So if you look at this chart, this is a 360. Normally, most of the time frames that I'll be doing most of the work on is going to be a 365-day chart and a 180-day 4-hour time frame chart. And if you look at this daily chart, pretty much the way that I go about looking at the market and much of the people on our team is that anytime we find an asset or a security that's trading above 3 deviations, which 3 deviations, for any of you listening, 3 deviations is marked off as this blue line. So this blue line on the chart, this is essentially 3 deviations. And while I'm at it, I might as well go to Google and pull this picture up for you guys so I can give you kind of like a little quick spiel on what this really means, or else it's just me talking to you without any background context and you're probably slightly confused. So I'm going to go to Google. I'm going to pull up an image really quickly. I'm going to pull this over here like this. And so this is just, you go to Google, this is standard deviation. For any of you guys who have taken statistics class, which by the way, I have not taken statistics class, but if you have, you'd be taught this. This is the bell curve.
Shout out stats class.
So yeah, I will show you this here in a sec. I'm gonna try and find like the easiest picture. Here we go. This is pretty straightforward. Let me zoom in as well. All right, that's getting a little bigger. All right, well hopefully you guys can see that okay. So this is called the bell curve and this is standard deviation. When we go back to my chart, it's gonna make a little bit more sense, but you see how this is categorized as 3 on the end and -3 on the far left. That is classified as 3 deviations. If you look in the middle of the curve, you're gonna see that you have 68%, 95%, and 97%. Those percentages are pointing to either -3, +3, -2, +2. But essentially what this curve is telling you is that the middle, where there's 0, that's the statistical mean or the average. And then -1 to 1 stands for 1 deviation away from the mean or the average. If we go all the way to 3, then that means we are 3 deviations away from the mean and the average. And in statistics, 99.7% of the time, data is going to exist within 3 deviations. So now that I've given you background on that, and we go back to my chart, this blue line is 3 deviations. So when the price of VYGVF, this stock we're looking at, when this is trading all the way at $10, essentially we are way overbought from 3 deviations. And statistics tells us that 99.7% of the time, most data is going to exist within 3. So when we're talking about doing shorts intraday, or we're talking about doing these longs intraday, like GameStop, you know, what I'm trying to show you is a standard deviation. And so whenever assets or securities are trading above this blue line, there's a 99.7% chance that the stock is going to fall down back below the blue. And same thing vice versa. If I were to reverse this chart, what is it? VYVGF. So
Dude,
if I were to
it's
reverse,
literally the hardest fucking ticker in the world. It's insane.
what is it? VY. What is this?
I'm going to put
VY?
it in the chat for everybody because it's so freaking hard.
VYVGF. I don't know. I feel like it's not working. It's VYVGF.
No. VY is Victor, Yankee, Golf, Victor, Foxtrot.
Victor, Yankee, Golf, Victor, Foxtrot. Gotcha. Yes. And then we just put a little minus sign in front of that. Bam, bam. All right. So what I did now is I reversed the chart so that this is now us looking at the stock as if it was downtrending rather than going up. So it's the same concept on the upside and the downside. If in the event a stock falls well below 3 deviations, essentially in a perfect world, there's a 99.7% chance that it's going to bounce and go back up above this blue line. And the same thing on the short side. So if it's going up and it's above 3 deviations, in a perfect world, 99.7% of the time, that stock price would fall back down and trade below 3 deviations. But again, this is also the stock market where you have people like Wall Street Bets that have like 6 million people in their chat room and they can kind of blow a stock up to wherever they want. So again, that's what's been happening to me over the past week is we do have a go-to system and strategy that we follow all the time that works very well. And this week, really, we've been getting our asses handed to us a little bit because there's so much volatility in the market that it's surpassing a lot of our recognizable levels to the point where it's really not making sense to even me. So that's why I had to scale back my trading, kind of flip to the long side this week. But again, like I said, in a perfect world, anytime a stock trades over blue or below blue, there's a 99.7% chance it's going to revert right back. And again, let me show you, like, I don't know, we could go look at like Tesla because everyone's geeked out about Tesla, right? So if you look at Tesla,
it's hard not to be geeked out on this thing. I mean, it's a fucking top 10 biggest companies in the whole exchange, and it just keeps going. It's nuts.
So again, here's like Tesla. This is a yearly chart. The statistical average right now for the year on Tesla is $672. So if you currently own Tesla at $672, essentially you're at fair market value currently for the year within this trend. If in the event you woke up tomorrow and Tesla was trading at $1,300, which honestly is probably possible knowing that it's Tesla, but let's just say it did. There's like a 99.7% chance that that's going to top there at $1,300 and you should sell it. If in the event tomorrow we woke up, well, that wouldn't happen because it's up, but actually it could. If tomorrow we woke up and Tesla was trading at $47, you should buy as much of it as possible because it would have a 99.7% chance of bouncing. But this is all not really possible.
And can I give you a ticker that I'm just going to get murdered for if we don't do? I've been asked this one 100 times. LLIT, that's Lima, India, Tango. While you're pulling that up, let me look at the company description. I don't know this stock.
Garbage, probably what it is.
Scrolling. Liano Smart Design, develop and market medical products and medical components. It looks like it's a Chinese stock. So there it is. What are you seeing on the chart? LLIT. If anybody has more insight into this company and what they do, go ahead, drop it in the chat. Elon Musk is tweeting about Dogecoin too. So let's do Doge in a second here. I've got a chart you can look at.
Okay, perfect. So if we're looking at LLIT, here's again this yearly chart. So if you were listening to what I just explained, 99% of the time, the stock is going to trade in between the blue line. So you can see that the price went over the blue today significantly, but by the end of the day, we closed back down below that blue line. This is the daily chart. If we go to the 4-hour chart, it'll probably be similar. All right, so if we go to the 4-hour chart, look at this. So the stock breaks out of the blue, runs all the way up to 17, then it crashes, and where does it bottom? It bottoms after it retests the 4-hour 3 deviation. This is all somewhat maybe a little advanced for some people, but I've been doing it for a long time, so I can speak of it like it's second nature. But if you look intraday, I actually did, I think, one trade on this, and I lost, I think, $1,200. I mean, I have it somewhere. Let's see, what is it? Yeah, I lost a total of $1,299 on this. So I did a short trade where I would normally do a short trade, which is right here. Caught this downswing, and then I got squeezed out. And this is when I said to myself, this market wants to do something that I don't entirely understand. So I took my loss of $1,300, let it ramp all the way up to 17. So I think I had like 1,400 shares in here. So it went from 1180 all the way to 17. I had a short of like 1,400 shares, 1,500 shares. If I would have let that go the whole way, I would have been down about $6-7 grand at that point. So I cut it off, let it go, then it crashed. If you ask me, this is just short-term pump from the market. Like I said, this is just a here now, probably gone tomorrow sort of situation with LLITH. And if you were to do a little bit of background analysis on LLITH, you're probably going to come to find that it has a really, really low float. So if we were to pull up, FinViz or something, let's see what they are
Benzinga,
offering.
Come on now.
Nothing.
Don't do
Nothing
that to
on
me.
FinViz. Oh, sorry. Yeah, it's second nature. But even still,
we need to make Benzinga
LLITH,
second nature. But producer Aaron, can you please send Connor a free Benzinga Pro login? We need to make Benzinga.
I have one. I got one. I'm on
Jesus.
it. So, anyways, LLITH, I would say for now, it's a here now, gone tomorrow sort of situation, and I wouldn't put too much faith into that personally.
Cool. All right, let's look at Dogecoin. I'm going to get, just like LLIT, the chat is literally going to murder me if we don't look at Dogecoin.
All right, thank you, man.
All right, Jason.
Yeah, thank you for the new modem.
All right, hold on, Jason, 1 second.
Everything you've done, hopefully it fixes it.
Mute
so
him.
thank you.
He's talking about his modem.
You two kept safe.
But all right, Chris Catchy just said that there was an Elon Musk Doge tweet. I don't see it. But let me go ahead and pull the chart up. Can we get my screen share on, please,
Hello?
Producer Rohan? Jason, that was a nice conversation you had about your router. Just give us 1 second to look at this Doge chart, Jason. Connor, here it is. I don't know if you can see it on mine. I mean, the thing is ripping. The trend is typically your friend. When momentum is behind you, I always think let it ride and put your stops in. But where are you at on this one, Connor?
So, I mean, again, like I said, I usually run a standard deviation for most of my charting. But if you look at it, you do have the formation of a cup and handle near the top. I don't know what the time frame is on it, but if you look at the most recent big green candle that broke into a new high, that was a significant buy candle with decent volume. Honestly, I would say Dodge is probably going to go higher at this point. And the reason I say that is I know for a fact that you had a lot of people shorting that most previous big drop. The market has grinded all the way back to a previous high. We rejected first attempt. Then we consolidated into a flag sideways. I would say DOG is probably going higher. This Dogecoin is probably going higher. You know, if I could run it on my charting system, I could probably give you price targets for it, but I can't. So it's hard for me to justify a price target for now. But I would say higher at least.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, I love this chart too. And Jason is back on the stream with us. Producer Rohan, can we add Jason into the stream? We can hear him. We just can't see him yet.
Is Rohan here?
Rohan's here. Rohan is always here.
Okay. So what I miss?
We've hammered some tickers. We talked about working at Benzinga. We did IDEX, Ford, Staff, Virtu, NASDAQ, LLIT, Dogecoin, Bitcoin, Riot, Mara, Rocket. Holy crap, that is a lot of tickers. And our fun stocks are just sort of hanging out. Like our GMEs and our AMCs are just sort of hanging out there.
All right, no, I love it. I love it. What?
Can I share my screen really quickly? I just want to show you guys AMC and just to give you guys maybe like a real-time live example to see if I could show you where the price target of this is at. So I'm zooming in. Right now, AMC is going up. The way that we would typically go about trading, our approach is, yes, this is a flag pattern here. So in the event this flag pattern really breaks out, our price target right now would be all the way up to $12.41 because that is where the current trend is at for the day. So a lot of times we would say, all right, this flag broke. Right now, our target price is $12.39. So I would like to just kind of sit and watch and actually see if AMC ends up retracing to $12.39 or $12.40 here fairly soon. And if it doesn't, maybe just watch it on your own here throughout the night. But there's a good chance you'll see AMC maybe even peak up closer to 12.30s to 12.49 because like I was explaining earlier, that's the statistical mean. That's the average, right? So there's a good chance you might see AMC back trading near 12.30 here after hours as it reverts closer to the statistical average here.
There we go.
And that's all I have.
And you were about to hop in with something.
No, that's it. No, I'm good. No trading for the day. I'm happy with where we're at. I might hop off here, guys. Call it a day. It's been a long day. Honestly, keep your eyes peeled. Be careful. Manage your risk. It's been a very volatile market recently, and prices are going nuts. So just be a little careful out there. That's all I gotta say. But with that being said, guys, I'm gonna hop off. Benzinga, thank you guys so much for having me. I'm looking this way, but I'm really looking at you guys. But other than that, if you guys want to have me on again, I'll keep in contact with Mitch, and I'll speak to you guys soon.
Awesome, Connor. Thank you so much for joining us, man.
Of course, Jason, Hot Stocks Luke.